As future educators, one of the biggest questions related to environmental education is how can we encourage students to become activists for ecological justice and environmental change? As our animals are becoming endangered, our forests are being destroyed, our oceans are rising, and the human population just keeps growing, our quality of life on this planet is declining. The time to change our habits is now, and the future generations become humanity's only hope for survival on this planet. But our planet was not always like this. In fact, before European colonization and the beginning of the Anthropocene, the land we currently live on was quiet and peaceful. Those who lived here had a harmonious and respectful relationship with nature that stemmed from the deep spiritual understanding that nature supported the beginning of the human race. Indigenous spirituality explains how the animals risked their lives to help the first human, Sky Woman, find a safe place to live. They offered their hand at a respectful relationship of reciprocity, never anticipating the disastrous impact that humanity would eventually have on their world. Despite the irreversible effects that we have had on the planet, there is only one way to replicate the harmony that once was, and that is by rekindling the connection between man and nature, the relationship that Indigenous people held in sacredness. Ideally, all of humanity could wake up one day and realize the importance of having this respect, so we could collectively begin to be more conscious of our effect. However, it is the unfortunate reality that this will never happen. The only way we can start is by introducing the future generations to the beauty of the earth that we so often take for granted. We can then foster the formation of a spiritual connection to the land in these open minds. Place-based education is an approach to learning that takes advantage of geography to create authentic, meaningful, and engaging personalized learning for students. It is an approach that enables students to have the opportunity to explore the beauty of nature and observe how the concepts they learn about are in effect all around them. Sitting in a classroom all day is an example of how our school system has been very westernized when it is not actually beneficial. Researchers explain that a benefit of place-based education is that community and place become additional texts for student learning. In fact, place-based learning not only offers more engaging forms of instruction, but it also enables the cultivation of involved citizens and the development of people committed to the wise stewardship and protection of natural resources and areas. As Joe Hansen explains in his video, Why People Don't Believe in Climate Science, we as humans have a tendency to hold an optimism bias, the assumption that we face lower risk than others do. Because of this bias, as well as the idea that environmental issues only affect future generations, we are hesitant to make changes in the way we act. Living in Saskatchewan may enable us to easily turn a blind eye to the long list of environmental issues. However, the effects are occurring now, right under our nose, and we need to make changes to the way we live. Just like the big concepts of racism, sexism, and other socio-political issues, the best way to make a lasting change is by educating ourselves and the youth of our generation on the negative impacts that ignorance has in our society. Place-conscious education can provide environmental education research that is responsive to diverse and changing cultural and ecological contexts. We as teachers, specifically in Saskatchewan, must initiate activism among our students, for these are issues that affect our present as much as they affect our future. We need to build a connection to the land like Indigenous culture promotes, and the way to begin is through place-based education. You may be familiar with the Take Me Outside initiation that takes place each year, encouraging teachers to recognize the positive impact that the outdoors have on student learning. Their mission statement reads as follows: "We believe in a future where spending time outside learning, playing, and exploring is a regular and significant part of every student's day." My question to teachers in Saskatchewan and around the world is, why does this have to be our future? Why can't it start now? Not for just a day, but every day and in all subjects. You have the power to create change. Use your power to better our world by mentoring students to develop a connection with our land and actively fight for its justice.